What's up everybody, it's Joe here with Joseph Blake Photography, and in today's video we're going to be talking drone news. We've got the Anzu Raptor and Raptor T, we've got a new Mini SE drone coming from DJI, we've got DJI firmware updates, and we have a DJI Power station. So let's jump in. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about what we think is going to be the newest SE drone from DJI. Now remember, we have the Mini 2 SE right now, and previously we had the Mini SE, and the Mini SE2 or 2 SE is getting an update. So two things are going to get updated on this drone. One is going to be the kind of sensor package, the front module, but most importantly is going to be an update to the processor that's inside it to allow this drone now to fully support 4K, probably 4K 30 video. Now previously the drone had a 12 megapixel sensor, which should be enough for 4K, but I don't think the processing power was there. Other than the update to 4K though, I don't think we're gonna see much of a change in this drone, maybe some improvement in the sensor, but more than anything, I think this is gonna be a spec bump, probably a name update from the 2 SE to the 4K. The SE name may or may not remain. It may be the 4K SE or the SE 4K, and it'll still have 31 minutes of flight time, still gonna have 10 kilometers of transmission distance, still gonna be under 249 grams. So overall, not a huge update, but right now, the Mini 2 SE is priced super low. It's like $279, $299. And I'll put a link down in the description for that, so you can take a look if you're in the market for a brand new teeny tiny drone that is pretty decently priced. To get into the Mini 3 though, you're up over $400. And obviously the Mini 4 Pro, you're over $900. Moving on, but also in DJI news, they've announced power stations. If you have been anywhere near TikTok, you've seen a lot of ads, or at least I have, for solar power generators, battery generator units to take on overlanding trips or to help in the event of a blackout or to power your devices on location if you are a creator. That's super cool. I personally have a Jackery 300 that I've used on my trips. It's great to be able to charge the drone. I recently added a 100-watt solar panel to that, and that made it really easy for me to last a couple of days out in the wilderness without needing to hook up, and I was able to charge my bike, my drones, my camera, and everything, and it was really nice. So now DJI is getting into this game, doesn't surprise me, and we're gonna have the DJI Power 400, the DJI Power 500 and Power 1000. So the DJI Power 500, not a shocker, will be a 500-watt power supply. It does support fast charging, so it will actually be able to charge to 100% off grid power in 70 minutes, which is pretty crazy. So it can definitely ingest quite a bit of power. And even though it's only a 500-watt total power, but it can actually output at 1,000 watts, which means that it could conceivably drain its entire battery in 30 minutes. Comes with a 3-year warranty out of the box, and you can actually upgrade that to a total 5-year warranty. And according to DJI, it supports up to 10 years at 4,000 cycles. It does support solar input, and there are some photos of some solar panels attached to it, though right now the solar combos aren't available, and I don't think I've seen anything from DJI specifically about solar from them. Moving on to the Power 1000, same basic concept, but it is a 1,000-watt power supply. And in this case, it actually supports up to 2,200 watts output. So you could run like an espresso machine or a refrigerator or a washer dryer combo on this thing. So that's super cool. So if you're running appliances, if you're running a whole house, this is a pretty cool device for you, at least in a pinch. Same 3-year warranty with the ability to upgrade to 5, and it still also supports 70-minute fast charging from the grid, and it will support 4,000 charges over 10 years. That's the claim. It also supports solar input. Now, pricing on these is interesting. They're $500 and $1,000, but there's huge coupons right now on Amazon. There's a $300 coupon on the Power 1000 and a $120 coupon on the Power 500. Okay, last bit of DJI news, or is it? The Mini 4 Pro and the Air 3 got firmware upgrades. to allow them to support the Goggles 3 and Motion Controller 3 that was released with the Avata 2. But just be aware, if this is something that you're looking to add to your drone kit and you are flying a Mini 4 Pro or an Air 3, there are a handful of features that are not supported when you are using Goggles 3 or the Motion Controller. Also getting some updates was the Mavic 3 Enterprise Editions. Not a comprehensive list, but some of the things that were included that I thought were interesting was live mission recording, improved low light performance or low light mode, as well as vision assist, which we've seen on some of the other drones where now you can actually see out of those obstacle avoidant cameras. The RGB camera now supports white balance, super cool. And now if you make changes to your transmission or enhanced transmission system, your return to home system, or your max altitude settings, those settings now save. Which is really nice because if you're out in the field, that'll save you some time. You don't have to keep reconfiguring your standard settings when you're shooting or working with these enterprise level drones. Okay, last but not least, and this isn't really DJI specific news, but it's drone news, right? The Anzu Robotics Corporation announced the Raptor and the Raptor T, which if you look at the specifications, and really if you just look at this drone, it should feel familiar, right? 45-minute flight time. The Raptor has a 4/3-inch sensor. The Raptor T has a 640 by 512 thermal imaging sensor. Should be sounding familiar now. These look just like DJI drones, but they're not ripoffs, right? They are still built in Malaysia, like a lot of the DJI products, although according to the CEO of Anzu, not at a DJI factory, just across the street. But most importantly, the software is designed in the United States by Anzu in affiliation with Aloft, which if you've ever used the FAA's app to check to see if it's safe to fly in the area that you're in, Aloft is one of those apps and they power a lot of that technology. So that's actually really nice. And in the video that I've seen, the software looks pretty good. It doesn't look just like a DJI knockoff. Okay, so who is Anzu Robotics, right? So Anzu Robotics is founded by Randall Warness, who is a previous CEO of Autel, another US drone manufacturer that tried to use or license technology from China. In a recent video interview with SUAS News, Randall actually walked through the whole thing. I'm going to link that video down below, but just in his words, just listen to what he has to say.
It's a licensing agreement, and if we chose not Malaysia but Mexico or the United States, we could do that. If we decide to make modifications on that product, we can do that. This is owned by Anzu Robotics.
So they're licensing the technology, they're able to do whatever they want with it, and obviously they're able to reproduce tech in the United States, not manufactured in China, with software being run in the United States. And the idea here is that if there does end up being a ban in the United States on DJI drones, if that bill goes through, then there would still be the ability for DJI through this third party to address the United States market. And you might ask, as I would, how are they going to make money if they have to go through this third party and the third party isn't just buying DJI drones and spray painting them green and then putting them on the shelf, right? The answer to that is in the pricing. So it's really simple. They just took the DJI drone pricing and they just added about $2,000 to it. So right now the Raptor is coming in at $5,099 and the Raptor T is coming in at $7,699. So $7,700. That's a lot. But I would say that if you're a company that does this work where these enterprise drones, the Raptor, especially the Raptor T with the thermal sensor, if that is what you need and you are concerned about your investment in these drones or a fleet of these drones as being problematic down the line, or maybe you have clients that are super interested in your technology not being built or run by a Chinese company, then maybe that's something that you can invest in. I'm not going to speak one way or the other if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but I like the idea that there are options in the market. And I'm really curious to see how this plays out. There are a lot of people online saying that this is just a way that DJI is getting around or creating a loophole. If they're using a third party to put them together, if they're licensing the tech, and then they're ensuring that the software is in fact run and built and checked in the United States, whether you agree or not with the idea that having Chinese drones in the United States is a bad thing, whether you agree with that or not, you have to agree that this would work to make people feel a little bit better if that was their primary concern. Anyway, that's the news on the drone side of things, on the DJI side of things. If this has been a video that you have found illuminating and interesting, please hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I had somebody yell at me in the comments a while back about asking for likes and subscriptions in the middle of the video or at the beginning of the video. And the thing is, most people don't watch to the end of the video. So if you've watched to the end of the video, I appreciate it. I would really love it if you hit and subscribe, if you're not already. And I'll see you in the next one.